I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Henschel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good day, Tom Henschel. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful day?
I am great. I'm so glad to talk to you.
Yeah, great pleasure to speak with you as well, too, my friend. What part of the world are you in right now?
I'm in Los Angeles, California.
That's wonderful, wonderful. And which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this time?
Well, I think you're going to have to tell me, but I think it was my podcast.
Yeah, it's like look and listen, and there it is, the song. The look and sound of leadership, right?
That's right. The look and sound of leadership. So my writing, my speaking, I think that's what brought us together.
Isn't that amazing, though, that something that you've produced would create a connection so far, and then we could be so close as the response of a voice, right? And have a conversation.
Yes, it is a wonderful thing. And it has changed my life. It really has. I'm in touch with people from all over the world. It's great.
Yeah, tell us about what you do on the podcast, my friend, and how it affects your job or your work.
I'm an executive coach, so I'm in business for myself. I've been writing these. Originally, they started as an HTML email back in 2005. In 2008, I started turning them into podcasts, and I've been doing them once a month ever since. And they tend to be a kind of lesson. They're written for my quote-unquote clients who are mostly Fortune 500 executives, but all kinds of people have found them. And it's changed my work because my audience has gotten so interactive with me, and people have found me, so it's been terrific.
Who did you learn these skills from? Specifically, the skill of communicating the way you are communicating, which is on the podcast you're doing. It's like you're doing innovation, if you would, right?
Yeah, the podcast has evolved into a kind of script of an actual coaching conversation. What I say, what my client says, what I say, what my client says. And that kind of script is really old in my life in that I grew up in the theater. I was trained as a professional actor. I worked as a professional actor for 25 years. So doing it as a script and doing it as what I was actually trained in high school in a technique called reader's theater, doing it that way makes perfect sense to me. So these skills have been with me a long time. I was raised in a very extroverted verbal household. And then, language just has always made sense to me. I think it's part of why I became an actor.
Wow. And then you have the voice and the other voice.
And then there's the voice.
Sweet.
Yes. Yeah.
That's amazing. Why will you continue to repeat these skills, Tom, that you so well execute now?
Well, they're my strength. They're my joy. I love coaching. I love being in conversations with my clients. But I'll tell you, when I get to do my podcast once a month, it is like the candy store day for me. So I just love doing it. It's terribly meaningful for me.
How has it affected your life?
It's opened me up. I've gotten to be in conversation with people I never would have met otherwise. It also, frankly, really fulfills the part of me. I'm not an actor anymore, but it fulfills that creative part of me. I get to write, produce, direct, and perform my own thing once a month. It's like, that's fantastic.
Yeah, one of the persons I spoke to, the second now that has found the thing they loved doing just reappear in their lives after doing the work that they needed to do. It's pretty fascinating how that happens. Pretty fascinating. Yeah.
I figure our strengths never go away, right? We just use them whenever we can.
Yeah. Well, tell us one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years.
One, in addition to the coaching tip, because the coaching tip is the thing that feels like a very, I often joke and say it's a harsh mistress. That date is coming every month, in addition to all my work. Yeah. So when I think about what I'm doing consistently, I am always thinking about writing the next coaching tip. And some people say, why don't you do it more than once a month? And I go, oh my gosh, I would just never get it done. So when I think about what I've done consistently over the last 3 years, that's the thing that just slams into my head, the podcast.
All right. And how does it make you feel?
I'm very proud of it, Engel. It takes an enormous amount of discipline. I love it. So I'm very proud of it.
Why would you suggest to someone that's listening that they take that type of scheduling, if you would, with the thing they love, where they're not doing it every single day, but really scheduling it in a way that it's the candy, as you said?
I just think consistency is powerful. I have a daily meditation practice. Just doing it every day is powerful. The podcast once a month is powerful. And also, by the way, looking outward, the meditation is for me, and nobody knows whether I do it or not, or whatever. But in terms of being month after month after month after month since 2008, that creates a very powerful message for my listeners, my clients. It looks like a disciplined organization. So, yeah.
All right, my friend. Well, Tom, let's switch gears. This is the fun part. Let me now invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful warm blue Caribbean water. Tom, what is your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest memory is kind of a snapshot. There's no dialogue in it. There's no action in it. It's just a picture of me. I was looking out our back door where I grew up into our backyard that was sunlit. And it was just that picture. And I've remembered it just since that's my earliest memory.
How old do you think you were?
I think I was about 4, which is early to have a memory.
If you had to connect that memory to who you are today, is it possible?
Well, I certainly have very strong, fond memories of that household. But I think the way I connect an angle is that I have these snapshots from all over at different times in my life and all over my travels where I'll just remember like that street corner, that store, that street. And so I just have these memories that are just like that 4-year-old memory. It's just a picture.
That's intriguing.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
I would love to hear it.
I love the idea of how your mind processes things. You expressed, I think just earlier on you said, well, I believe that strengths are some things that we never lose. We just use them when necessary. And to see your mind taking pictures in a way that you're able to use the thing that will carry you on, that will carry on the story, is fascinating. Connecting the dots to the way you actually do the podcast, where the entire month passes by, but the picture of everything, the coaching that you've done, the thing that you believe brings most value, and the way you package that once a month. It's just fascinating how that connects in terms of you being that once a time individual, if you would.
That was great to hear, Engel. Thanks for doing that. I just got to say, it's one of the things that I have really come to like about your podcast is how deeply you listen and these connections that you make. Thanks for sharing that with me.
You're welcome. It's very beautiful. Wow. If we fast forwarded to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
There was a song called If I Had a Hammer, and many people might still know it. It was on the radio, but it was also a kind of sing-along song around the campfires and that sort of thing. And I was a big camp goer, and I used to love to sing. And so I think that was one of my songs.
Wow. Well, for me, it's amazing how that connects because, I mean, it's like even in the coaching that you do, the way you sing song during your repeat, right? It's like you're repeating it for the podcast, right?
That's
great. Wow, that's amazing. Wow. All right, my friend. Well, we have arrived at our destination now, but before we get off of this time machine, there is a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We are going to go pretty quickly here. Tom, are you ready?
Yes.
Tom, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes. I am always mentoring people, so yes.
Are you married?
No.
Do you have children?
I do.
Do you believe in God?
I am spiritual, not religious.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Oh my, yes I do.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Rarely.
How about 3 hours a week?
Yes.
What about screen time? The phone and the computer, is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
On big office days, it can be more than 8 hours a day, but rarely.
Tom, if you had to share with us your own unique, real statement, a statement that represents who you are, what would you say that is?
Relationships and tasks are equal in importance.
Love it. Wow. Love it. Wow. R plus T equal I. All right. Love it. Tom, this has been a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Abundance is attractive.
Love it. Tom Henschel, this has been a great pleasure, my friend. Thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thanks.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.